guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and self-assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello.
Prosecutor said Ethan Nordine was the undisputed leader of the group that day as they tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power.
FBI agents arrested Proud Boys former national chairman Enrique Tarrio at this home in Miami. By 2 this afternoon, he was in federal court.
Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertain us. I feel stupid and contagious. Here we are now, entertain us.
You know, I always find it weird how like YouTube videos always start with, "Hey guys, welcome to another episode." So I do it. I'm guilty.
That's because you're corny as shit.
So here we go. We'll start. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of News Brief here on the War Boys Studios. Today is Wednesday, July, and my eyes are bugging. 16th. It is 12:14 a.m. and we got a really good show with a very special guest. And I am joined by my co-host and fellow Warboy Studio host of Critical Mass, Rob. Rob, welcome to the show.
What's up, brother? Good to see you.
That was pretty good, right?
Yeah. It was somewhat professional.
Yeah.
It was yesterday.
YouTube-y.
Yeah, it was YouTube. Yesterday was yesterday was devolved into the shit show of all shit shows, dude.
No, I haven't watched it. I'm dying to watch because even Patty sent me a message, and then I saw Chad's response to him on Twitter. And here's another thing.
It's got the Twitter beefs at the end.
We have internal beefs here at the Warboy Studios between two hosts. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Patty seems to have an issue with Kim
being a trad wife. Oh yeah, that's something to be. That's something to have a problem with.
Yeah, of course he would. So Rob, I'll let you introduce.
That's because his wife wears the penis.
Dying to get her in. So go ahead and introduce our special guest of the day here at News Brief.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Lords of War Daily News Brief. And today we have a special guest who was on my third show, and I was honored to have her on then. And we had something happen this weekend at TPUSA to her, and we're bringing her on the show so that she could tell you guys exactly right from her mouth what happened to her. And honestly, bro, I think it's fucking bullshit.
From what I heard, it is. So, Patriot Batty, welcome to the show.
Hi,
Patriotic Patty, what's going on?
Yeah, man, it was really upsetting this weekend because here I was thinking this was going to be a good opportunity, and it did start out that way. Like, I met a lot of content creators. I had interviews lined up that same day. I was supposed to go to the media room and get interviewed by a couple podcasters, but I got kicked out before any of that happened. And yeah, it just went like so south. I mean, here I was like talking to the vendor and asking questions. Somebody else was asking questions about Israel and why she supports Israel and why we should support Israel, because that's what she said. And then it just got heated, and I guess she started crying and asked us to leave. But hold on, sorry.
So we played the clip on Monday on the show, and I hadn't heard anything about it. and I found it wild that it doesn't have as much traction as it should have, because I think this is a legitimate concern, but it's not nothing new, and I'll tell you why in a second. So I kind of want to we played the video. I don't want to play it again. So the video starts off, the one that we saw starts off with a gentleman having a conversation with a woman, and they both had Israeli flags. And he was questioning him about, Israel, which is a hot topic. But what we saw, you had like the two-way camera where we could see your face and we could see what's going on. And I want to ask, timeline. So you purchased your ticket to go into the TPUSA event, right? And this is based in Tampa, Florida, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you walk in, and explain that when you walk in, is this a friend of yours that you were with?
No, I didn't know him. We only talked the day before, but that was after Charlie Kirk had his ask me anything questions.
Okay.
And we're waiting in line for hours, and the people with like the stupidest questions got pushed in front of to the line. So
Okay.
I asked Charlie Kirk my question. He actually did ask Charlie Kirk a question, but that's because he said that he lied about what his question was. So
Right.
they were like accepting really soft questions, like what's your favorite, or do you prefer pancakes or waffles? What's your favorite mascot? Those questions are what they're in a line for. So we were kind of pissed off that those were the questions that he asked, and I met him that day after that because I thought I was the only one that was upset by that. Like I was so upset, I was waiting in line hours to like debate with him just for him to like do that, and like I almost left because I was so upset, but I wanted to stay for Carlson. But yeah, I met him after that, and I felt better because I was like, damn, somebody else is upset about this.
Yeah. So, how many days was this event? It was just Saturday and Sunday?
That was Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday. So what happened to you happened on Saturday, and we'll get to it now in a second. And then the Q&A was on Friday.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, Charlie Kirk. What's funny to me is Charlie Kirk does all these, on-campus things, and that's what he's known for. That's what TPUSA is known for. And he gets questions. He loves questions from liberals when it comes to like these on-campus events. But when it comes to like these TPUSA events, I have never attended a TPUSA event. So okay, so you walk in, and how did you magnetize to wherever, and what part were you walking around all day, or did you walk in and this instantly happened?
So I was walking around like a while before that. I even have a video of a vendor showing me like this Constitution thing with like all these famous politicians. So I was recording that. I was recording this makeup vendor that was there. So I was really recording all the vendors. And then eventually I ran into him again, and we were just talking about Charlie Kirk, talking about Israel. And then he mentioned something I thought the day before, like, isn't it weird how the first thing you see is Israeli flags? Now, my intention to going up to the vendor, I was just going to like show like the Israeli vendor, and then that was going to be it, like hi, and then I was going to like walk away.
Okay.
But, yeah, and then this conversation starts, and it just went downhill from there.
Okay. And then when you say downhill, because we already know what happened in the video, and I'll explain it to the viewers. Because again, I personally don't have too much time here. I have about 45 minutes before I got to personally exit. But okay, so the video basically is you recording this interaction. You don't say a word throughout this whole process. And then the video cuts to a little while later where security catches up to you and tells you got to leave.
Yes.
And you tell them why. And they tell you, well, you were part of the argument, right? Which you weren't. You were just live streaming and sitting there. So walk me through before you walk me through that. I'm trying to gather my thoughts here. So why did this gentleman go to, and you said it's in like in an Israeli booth?
Yeah.
Like a pro-Israel, was it I don't know, what is it, a lobbying firm, or you don't know what it was?
With Christians and Jews, and then there was like a bunch of Israeli flags around. I think international something with Christians and Jews.
Okay. And so then after that, we so walk me through after the video. Do you stop recording, or did you continue to record?
With him after he got arrested.
Wait, he got arrested?
Yeah.
Or I didn't. This is part of it. I didn't know that. What did he get arrested for?
Yeah, he got arrested. So basically, after he had that conversation with the vendor, he was talking to somebody else about it, and then it was like, I guess like 5 minutes later, I'm not sure how long later, he was still talking about Israel because somebody else walked up to him and said, "Well, do you think we should support Iran?" And in the midst of him having a conversation with somebody else, that's when the police came up to him and said, like, we're gonna have to ask you to leave. And he said, "No, I'm not leaving. I paid $500. Why am I being asked to leave for criticizing a foreign country?" And basically they said, "You have to leave." He said, "No, I'm not leaving. I'm going to sue you." And, they basically arrested him after that.
Okay. And I'm guessing it's a simple trespass. So he got let go of right there on site, or did they book him?
I think it was like 12 a.m. that night that he hit me up and tell him, and like, yeah, he actually went to jail.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And then how long after that did you have an interaction with security?
It was like 30 minutes after that. That's the weirdest part. We all went our separate ways after that. It was like 30 minutes after that. I don't know if you guys know Never Woke. I met him. I met like other Caitlin Bennett, like other content creators. So it was like a while after that. I was just like still filming, live streaming randomly. And then like out of nowhere, he comes back up and he's like, "Hey, what's your name? Like, can you walk with me?" And I should have stayed right there and just said, "What do you want?" And like let everybody see what was going on instead of walking with him. But yeah, like it was like wow after that. Like the whole thing was over and I thought that it was over.
Is that why you gave up? Because in the video you gave up your pass. Did you give up your pass because the previous gentleman got arrested?
Yeah, I mean, and I just I'm not.
Yeah. Nobody's trying to go to fucking jail over fucking TPUSA.
And the thing is, the cop that escorted me off, before that actually happened, she came up to me and talked to me about it, and she was like, "Oh yeah, you're good. It's not your fault. You can't control what somebody else does." Because I did say, I was like, "Damn, maybe I should have tried to de-escalate it." But even she was like, "Yeah, it's not your fault." Because she was a fan of my work. She complimented me the day before, and then like, the day she has to escort me off the premises. So it was kind of, crazy.
You're in the Tampa area, correct? Like you that's where you reside.
Well, I live in St. Pete, so I have to drive like minutes to go to Tampa.
For us South Floridians, Tampa and St. Peter's, Tampa. Okay, so what I can't even like I was trying to fucking be like, all right, I gotta give her pushback on something, but like there's nothing to give pushback on here. You walk in, however people feel about Israel or whatever, like there's some things I don't vibe with when people start talking about Israel. But one thing that I find funny is the TPUSA gang, right? And Charlie Kirk in this situation, and like his talking points from 2018, and we did talk about this on Monday's show. His talking points completely from 2017, 2018 are completely our talking points from that time. So he sees that our talking points have become popular, so he takes up those talking points. But one thing that I noticed on here is that he had Dave Smith, right? And he had Tucker Carlson, which was talking about those things. But Mrs. Patriotic Betty gets kicked out for recording a video. How does that make you feel?
I mean, it felt horrible. It was really embarrassing because, like I said, I had people that wanted me on their podcast a day later. I had many content creators that were coming up to me and they were like, "Oh, like, I love your work." And I was like, "Yeah, like, but I got kicked out." So it was really like embarrassing. A lot of my followers were trying to see me there and, having to tell people, because if you look at my timeline, I'm like showing me like, "Oh yeah, I'm getting ready to go to Turning Point. Like, I'm so nervous. I'm so excited." And just for it to end like that, like, it was really just embarrassing and like really disappointing.
Do you consider yourself MAGA?
I did.
Until?
with Trump's latest tweet, honestly, I feel like I'm in limbo right now.
Okay.
Because with the whole Jeffrey Epstein thing, and the more Trump doubles down on it, it's like right now, I would just say I'm America first, or like America only at this point. Because MAGA, like I got a lot of hate from MAGA in these last few days because I was saying I didn't like what Trump was doing with this Jeffrey Epstein thing. So it's like I do want to make America great again, but it's like at this point, it's just like I don't even know who to stand for anymore, because it's like I don't feel like people that say America first put America first.
Okay, let me ask it in this way: do you support the MAGA agenda? Not. You don't have to support the president, but do you support the general MAGA agenda?
When it comes to America, I do. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to tell you a little story about my situation. I'll make it this short about TPUSA. The reason why I've never been to a TPUSA thing, because I feel like it's a grift, right? Now, I could look at things different ways. Have they done great things on college campuses and converted people? These college liberals or college non-party affiliate or libertarians, have they converted them over? Yes. So that's good work. But when it comes to like pushing that agenda, they have not been very successful, and they kind of go with the tide. One person that I criticize heavily has always been Candace Owens. I don't know what Rob or you think about her, but she's always been an opportunist from the beginning. She goes with whatever's controversial and gets clicks. And that was from the beginning when she was her stage name was Red Pill Black or some shit like that. And she had those TPUSA talking points, and she pushed back on it. She started Blexit. And I've had members go to the TPUSA event and take a picture with Charlie Kirk. And then after, could they do the step and repeat picture, like all the fucking nice pictures with the fucking backdrop with the step and repeat? And two of my guys have taken pictures of them at different events. And right when they walk off, he notices the black and yellow Fred Perry, and he instantly stops the line and stops what he's doing to go to my guys and be like, no, delete delete that picture off your phone. And that's one of the reasons I don't go to these things. I usually go for the networking. I go to many events just for the networking, even if I don't agree with people, which sounds like what you were doing. You were getting with other content creators.
Yeah.
You were kind of networking. That's what you do at these events.
Yeah, it was more so like a networking event. I would have loved to debate Charlie Kirk, but yeah, it was more than anything like a networking event.
Yeah. So is this your first TPUSA event?
Yeah, that's what's so crazy. I'm not used to doing things like, honestly, in real life, it might not seem like it, but like I'm really shy. So like in real life, like this was like not something I'm used to doing at all. I'm not even used to driving in Tampa traffic. So This is not something that like on a normal basis. I don't socialize. I don't really like leave my house. So it really sucks because I feel like I really put myself out there, and I was like really nervous about it already. And just for that to happen, it's like, damn, you know what I mean? And it sucked even more because all like the content creators that I was hanging out with, that's all on their timeline. Like, oh, TPS USA, and I'm just like, damn. So it just really, at first I didn't like, I don't think it set in that like I was kicked out and all that happened. Mexico event on Sunday, but like come Monday, man, I was just so depressed because I just felt like I had a lot of opportunities like that, were wasted, and I don't even know like, what content I should be making now, because like, yeah, it was just really depressing.
How did you see the vibe of like the people that went? Not Charlie Kirk, not the event staff, like the people that went there, and you had, it seems like you had some conversations with different people. Did you feel like they aligned with you on a lot of these issues? Like these issues specifically, I guess, is the controversy comes in foreign policy, right? So did you have those conversations, and what did you take in from just like the attendees?
I feel like the main thing everybody was talking about was Jeffrey Epstein. I didn't really talk about foreign policy too much besides with the guy that got arrested.
Mhm.
Yeah, at the Blexic event the next day, everybody was saying how messed up it was and how weird they are when it comes to Israel. But
Yeah.
as far as the people, they were all really nice. Like most people I met, they were really nice, and everybody. And that's one thing I feel like maybe I'm misreading it on Friday. But when I first saw Charlie Kirk and I seen everybody was talking about Jeffrey Epstein, I feel like I could see how disappointed he was. It's not something that he wanted this event to be about, but everybody wanted answers. And when he would ask the crowd, who here cares about Jeffrey Epstein? There would be this big, loud, we all care. And I think if he could have dictated it, he would have downplayed it or try to talk about something, but nobody was having that. Everybody was talking about that. So that was the main topic of conversation. Everybody wanted answers.
Rob,
You really want me to blow it up?
go ahead.
This is what happens when people buy into the grift. They see the money.
Yeah.
Now they have a set of standards, and they have forgotten all of the people like us that put them where they are. Because if it wasn't for people like us that believed in their initial mission, they wouldn't be here. It's the same thing I say all the time, on my show, on here, whatever. For all the people that follow me, I'm only here because of them. Yeah, I may have a voice or whatever, but it would just be a voice, me talking to myself in my basement without the people that follow me. And that would be like me, a year from now, if I eventually get bigger, forgetting about all those people that helped me get to where I was at. And that's exactly what TPUSA does. That's exactly what Candace Owen does. That's exactly what any of these quote unquote influencers. And I hate that fucking word. It's literally like tax in my mouth while I'm trying to chew. Influencer. It's a reprehensible word, dude. But very few people have actually just taken their mission and carried it on and been the exact same person. But the second they get a modicum of money and clout, they forget everything that put them there in the fucking first place. And for Charlie to do that, or his organization to do that, is bullshit. And now I just sank my chances of ever going to TPUSA, which I don't give a fuck about because I don't want to go.
And that's the thing people were telling me. They were like, "Oh, don't say anything. You'll get blacklisted." Everybody was talking about how messed up it was, but they didn't want to say anything because they didn't want to get blacklisted. You know what I mean? And I was just like, "Yo, I'm supposed to be preaching the truth." You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I've been honest about who I was. I'm not conservative. I'm not liberal. I don't really fit in with any of these groups anyway. I'm just my own person. So if I get blacklisted from Turning Point, oh well, you know what I mean? I'll find new opportunities. I'll make my own opportunity. You know what I mean? And there are people oh, I want to help you, but I don't want to get blacklisted. So it was funny because people were talking about how messed up it was, but then they're like, oh, but don't tell me I said that, or don't mention me or anything. So
dude, go ahead.
So let me give you my view. I've stated my view on here before. I don't know if you've heard it, Betty. So I'm loyal to the president no matter what, right? Do I like what he's doing with these things? I could tell you no. But I'm going to bring up a tweet from one of these people that are of the same mentality when it comes to loyalty to the president, right? But it's a different take. So this is Brendan Dilley. I'm going to go through. I'm going to thoroughly enjoy watching fuckhead influencers who built their gay little empire on the backs of Trump's name continue to attack him until they have no following left. He lent you his clout and voters. They don't belong to you. You're not that guy, pal. Right? And you could go through his page, right? I have a reason to be loyal to the president because he gave me my life back. But in no way, shape, or form am I going to shit on people for holding him to account for his promises. They're legitimate concerns. They're legitimate MAGA concerns that were made, that were promises made, and those promises need to be kept. Right. So I could be of both minds. I am loyal to the president, and that's for personal reasons. It's not for this. I do put America first. Right. But I could put things in different compartments, and like shitting on like people that have been Trump supporters for a long time or for a short period of time, in your case, is wrong, because I can't argue. I can't argue with your points, Rob. I can't argue with your points, Batty. I can't sit here and be like, well, you're wrong because of this. You're not wrong. You're absolutely right in your concerns for the president. So, like, even though I do have those views at a personal level, I'll still retweet Rob. I'll still retweet your video, because I think that the issues that we're having in this country, and this shows why we're not a fucking cult, why we're not a monolith, and we don't think all the same. You know, the liberals have been saying,
according to Patty, we're a cult.
Yeah, well, he's part of the part. Well, Patty's in a different category too, because he has his beliefs, and he hates Joe Biden and he hates Kamala Harris, even though he voted for her. But he felt like that was the best thing, and he still criticizes them both. So it comes from a place, at least I could tell you Patty's wrong about his views, but at least like there's moral grounding in it, you know? And there's a big moral grounding in the positions that you guys take. You know, do I hold those positions too? I think the president should listen to his base, you know, but also you have to understand that there's things behind the scenes that we don't see, right? But never can you do what, and I'm going to pull it back up again, like, and it's tweet after tweet. Well, if you don't stand by the president, you were never MAGA, right? You're some fuckhead influencer, and you're gay, and you're not the guy, pal. Well, let me tell you, we are the guys. We are the people that are like, hey, this is what the president said. Let's hold him to account, because we need to. We need to. I understand, like, this guy's acting like his life was saved by the president. It wasn't. It wasn't. So, like, people that are consistent in their views, there's some people that are taking there is people that are taking advantage of the situation, and the left is also taking advantage of the situation, as we saw yesterday. Well, actually, yesterday and a couple of days, Monday and Tuesday. You know, that there was this vote to release the Epstein files, and I saw all over the place that Republicans voted against it, and that wasn't the case, right? So the left is like, oh, look at all these Republicans voting against Epstein files being released. They didn't vote for that. The problem was that vote also included them taking control of the House and being able to put things up to vote without a problem. So there is a new bill that's coming in that's sponsored by Massey and the other Jeet from California that pretends to be a centrist. Did I say Jeet? I didn't mean
Jeet. I like Myron Gaines.
Yeah. So I think like, look here, perfect example, Myron. Myron's a friend of mine. He's grounded in his views. You know what I'm saying? He's like, he's not taking advantage of the situation. He's like, these are my views. This is my line, and I'm not crossing it. And it's a noble cause. Fighting against fucking one of the biggest fucking pedophile rings in the country is a noble cause. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a rant. Rob, go ahead.
You're right. And as soon as as soon as we wrap up with the TPUSA situation, I have plenty on what you're talking about right now. Plenty.
So Go ahead, Rob.
I was going to say, Batty, do you plan on ever attending another TPUSA event?
I would apologize or at least explain. So there were 2 other dudes that were kicked out, and they literally like walked in as it was happening. So they were kicked out for no reason, and apparently they reached out to them and said, "Oh, it's just a misunderstanding," but they never reached out to me or explained anything to me at all. So like, if they don't like apologize, I'm not gonna like go back and like that was fucked up.
Yeah, and we saw it when we went to CPAC, right?
Mhm.
We got kicked out of CPAC, but they didn't know how big our dick swung. As soon as the outrage machine started, oh, you kicked out fucking J6ers that were just pardoned less than a month ago? Like, fuck you. Bring them back. And they did. They did bring us back. So there was that pressure. I'm of a different mind. I just don't go to TPUSA events but I like to stir the shit. So if like, I'm going to continue to go to CPAC, right? Before 2018, which was the first time I got kicked out of CPAC, I had gone 10 years in a row to CPAC. And like, I'm going to continue to go because if they kick me out, I'm going to continue to get content of them fucking kicking me out.
I do think.
Like if you want to expose, that's the best way you do it.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that I watched that video and that really pissed me off, Batty.
I mean, it should piss off a lot of people. I'm surprised that it didn't get more traction.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It was just so weird. That
you're literally just standing there.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can see my facial expressions. It's not like I was like laughing or egging it on. I was like, you can tell, like, one of my followers said, like, I looked like so shook because I was like, oh, holy shit. Because I did not even like expect for that to like happen. So it's not like I was egging it on. I was just like, oh shit. Like, that was literally my face the whole time. It was like, oh wow. Like,
my views on Israel are a little complicated because my views on foreign policy are very complicated. And I think foreign policy isn't easy. It's the hardest part of governing because it's literally a giant high school, which is the globe, and you're trying to play politics with each one, and eventually you make enemies, you make friends, and the friends become enemies, and enemies become friends. So there's a lot. Like, my view on foreign policy is very complex. Maybe it's the Spaniard in me that likes the conquest. But for the most part, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, so how about the other? How about like other figures like Candace Owens and Myron Gaines, which I find crazy because like the new face of white supremacy is a bunch of black people and Hispanics and Elmo.
Fucking Elmo.
Dude,
know? how they kick her out for not even saying anything, but Myron of all people was welcomed there with open arms. Are you the shit that he's been saying about the Jews lately? And I mean, are you kidding me?
There's a double standard because, and I'll tell you, and it goes with, like,
he's got a huge following.
Batty's new to the scene. When Batty creates, and I will, because I've seen your content. You will generate that snowball. Once you do that, you become a force to be reckoned with when it comes to, on this scene, and I think that they kicked you out because you don't have the following that Myron does. You don't have the following that Dave Smith or Tucker Carlson does. Mm-hmm. Right. That's why they put them on the stage. Right.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that you get to, and it's there for debate, right? So TPUSA is about debating, like their brand is built on it.
That's why I was so mad because Charlie Kirk literally advertised his portion as prove me wrong, test your debate skills. And I was like, holy shit, I get a chance to debate Charlie Kirk. And they're only letting people ask him what his favorite breakfast is. Like, what? How are we supposed to debate you on that? Debate you on sports teams? Like, come on, man.
He got really pissed off with the Groypers. You remember that, Rob?
Mm-hmm.
The Groypers would go in there and do the same thing. They would fucking go in there and ask him. And Dan Crenshaw, you know, when they would bring Dan Crenshaw.
Mhm.
Was Dan Crenshaw there, Betty? You
Um,
did you see any, like, I guess, like posters or anything?
Oh, there actually was a group. I don't know who they were, but they brought a cardboard of Netanyahu. Basically, we're making fun of Charlie Kirk. Now, I didn't notice at the time, but I thought that was what Turning Point was doing. So I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, I don't know if he was there, but no, there were some people there that didn't like Charlie, and so I don't know what they stood for exactly, but they were just saying how he sucks up to Netanyahu and stuff.
Yeah. So I'm not with kicking you out, but I will tell the audience, if you're at a private location and they tell you to leave,
Just leave.
just leave, dude. Like, it's not worth getting arrested. I mean, you already got them trying to get you off the premises. You know, it's not worth getting fucking put in handcuffs for.
Dude, that's funny coming from you.
Yeah. Well, I get arrested everywhere I go. It's like I can't get away from it. I mean, we had this conversation today in the morning. It might, you know, I'm not going to say shit. I'm just going to shut up. I'll tell you guys in the green room. I have a knack for it. But, you know, shifting gears here a little bit onto the next topic. I guess I'll put the Damascus thing last, and I only got about like 10 minutes that I could.
Well, why don't you just do it now?
Well, no, I don't want to hit the Damascus thing because you guys bring up a good point with Trump's tweet. Do you have it? Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll with it.
Okay, let's go.
All right, everybody who's watching us on the live, thank you guys very much for tuning in. We all appreciate it here at Warboy Studios, and I speak for Noble One, Enrique, and Patriotic Batty. We appreciate you guys watching us today. And if you guys could repost the live stream, whether it be on mine or his or on the Warboy Studios, at Warboy Studios on X, it would be greatly appreciated by all of us. Let's get some more people in here. We truly appreciate the people that are here. And with that, dude, let me preface this by saying
the great part. Wait, before you go, the tweet that you're about to put up, the great part is I have not read it.
Okay.
So this is like a live reaction thing.
All right. Yeah. So again, yeah, let me preface this by saying I'm not somebody that just picks out words or a couple of words chained together and gets all hyperbolic and crazy about just that. I always read or listen to everything in context. And there is so much context here. It is literally President Trump telling guys like you and I, go fuck yourselves. If you read it in the context in which it was typed, this should be this is a fucking smack in the face by President Trump, and I can't. All right, here it is. The radical left Democrats have hit pay dirt again. Just like with the fake and fully discredited Steele dossier, the lying 51 intelligence agents, the laptop from hell, which the Dems swore had come from Russia. No, it came from Hunter Biden's bathroom. And even the Russia scam itself, a totally fake and made up story used in order to hide crooked Hillary Clinton's big loss in the 2016 presidential election. These scams and hoaxes are all the Democrats are good at. It's all they have. They are no good at governing, no good at policy, and no good at picking winning candidates. Also, unlike Republicans, they stick together like glue, which is stating that we don't stick together. Okay, there's your first tell. Their new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. And my past supporters have bought into this bullshit hook, line, and sinker. They haven't learned their lesson and probably never will, even after being conned by the lunatic left for 8 long years. I have had more success in 6 months than perhaps any president in our country's history. And all these people want to talk about, with strong prodding by fake news and success-starved Dems, is the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. He said it again, hoax. Let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. Okay, we're weaklings and doing the Democrats' work for them. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success, because I don't want their support anymore. Thank you for your attention on this. Make America great again. Let me say this again. Let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success, because I don't want their support anymore. Say goodbye, 2026, and definitely say goodbye, 2028.
I'm gonna let you guys talk, and
Dude,
I'm gonna give you 10%.
Fucking brutal.
I'm gonna give you 10% pushback because we don't have Patty in here, so I have to play Patty.
This is tone deaf. This is not reading the room. This is okay. I'm done.
Patty.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it's like, I feel like he's talking about me because I care about this. And, you know, he's the one, him and his vice president and his team is the one that said that they were going to release the files. Now, all of a sudden, we're not supposed to care about it. And I just feel like he's basically telling supporters like me, if you care about this and you want these elite pedophiles held accountable, then stop supporting me. Like, it's not even the fact that I stopped supporting Trump at this point. It's the fact that Trump turned his back on his supporters. So it's like, how can I support him after that? You know what I mean? I'm just like, damn. Is that really how you feel about your supporters that want to see you drain the swamp, which includes pedophiles? So it's like, that was just so like disgusting, honestly. Like I'm lost at this point. It's like, damn.
So let me tell you that there is 10% truth in that post, and I'm gonna the obvious is the obvious. You know, we're not. This isn't a hoax. You know, this isn't a hoax. His supporters do care about it, and it's his most vocal supporters. I'm not going to say the rest of the country because, like, listen, like I talk to people like regular, fucking just Republican voters, and they truly don't care about the Epstein files, right? Which they should, but they're not as informed. You got to also understand, when we're on this all day and we're on top of the news all day and we're the most informed voters, right, in the base, and we're saying this is wrong, I think most people should align with all three of us on this issue. It's not a hoax. Are there elites involved? Of course they are. Are there elites that are currently in power that are probably involved? Of course there is. There is, and this is the truth statement in there, and this is about politics too. So the Democrats are using this as a crowbar, and it's working, right? So you're seeing them take advantage of our emotional pull to this issue, and they're writing it, and they're writing it very well. There is a pressure campaign by the Democrats to bring, I don't think that anybody on this spectrum on the right will ever go and vote for a left winger, but they will stay home come 2028. So Barry's prediction is probably off now. I'm back into my prediction is going to be right. We lose the House. We lose a seat or two in the Senate, which is very tragic coming forward, because it is tone deaf. It is tone deaf, and he's not listening to his core. And the reason why his core is so strong is because, like, this is the reason why we voted for him in 2016. You know, I voted for him in 2016 because of his stance. Well, I didn't vote for him because I couldn't vote, but that's why I supported him. Let me correct that. That's why I would bring buses to the polling station on election day. It's his stance on foreign policy. You know, his stance on foreign policy has always been great, and it's always been consistent, except for now. You know, and this is, whether you like it or not, this is not a domestic issue. This is a foreign policy issue. You know, because this implicates a lot of foreigners. We saw that with the prince. You know, we see it in the UK. We see it all over the place. So, but there is truth in what he's saying, is the Democrats are using it. Now, how do you correct it? Start listening to your supporters and release the fucking files. That's how you stop the Democrats from being able to use this. Fucking release the files. It's going to cause chaos. It's going to cause chaos, but that's what we voted for. We voted for transparency. Transparency is chaos. You know, if imagine all of the state secrets were to be released, it would completely change the game, and that's what we want. What do you think about what I said? I'll start with Batty.
I agree with you. It's like everybody's saying, "Oh, don't let the Democrats do this. Don't let the Democrats do this." But it's like, Trump, at the end of the day, you're letting the Democrats do this. You're the one that said drain the swamp. You're the one that said release the files. The Democrats, from what I know, they never said that they were going to release anything. Your party is the one that was dancing around, prancing around the Jeffrey Epstein files and making a whole show out of it. I mean, they embarrassed you. And I mean, you only have yourself to blame, because you're the president at the end of the day. You're the one that led us on to make us believe that you were different than all these other politicians and that you were going to drain the swamp. So this is you can't blame Democrats if you give them a reason. You know what I mean? You gave them a reason to use this against you, and it could cost you a lot.
Yeah. So look, the big crack came in the Israeli-Iranian situation, right? And I'll tell you, I completely supported the bombing of Iranian nuclear sites. Period. I think it needs to be. I think it needed to be done. I think that we should have done it a lot earlier. I would have supported him doing it back in 2016, which he did. He did it in I believe at the beginning of 2018, where he bombed the runway in Syria, right? And I think that when it came to his stance on Iran, he's never changed. It's not new. So I thought that was I thought that portion of it was his supporters bitching about that. I don't think they were listening to him when it came to Israel and Iran per se. So Rob, what are your thoughts?
You're an ass, dude.
I'm not an how.
I listen. I voted for no more foreign wars, but I honestly, I don't really believe that. He would have gotten us out of Ukraine. Well, gotten us out of Ukraine and stopped Ukraine and Russia in 24 hours. I'm not stupid enough to believe that. I know that's hyperbolic, Donald Trump. Yeah. I saw the bombing in Iran going a lot deeper than it did, and his plan at that moment worked. My concern was always troops on the ground and our guys dying yet again for two foreign countries that don't give two flying fucks about us, because Israel doesn't give a shit about us, and neither does Iran. And I'm also at of the same mindset that Iran should never be able to have nukes.
Do you blame
a sponsor of terrorism in the entire world?
Do you blame, and here's always my pushback on that. Do you blame Israel for it? Do you blame Israel for protecting its interests and bringing the bully into the playground?
For me, it's more complicated than that, dude.
That's why I'm asking an isolated question about it.
I think they could have October 7th. There should be retribution and brutal retaliation for that. But to draw it out for as long as they've been drawing it out, waiting to see if we were going to get involved or help them out with that. Yeah, it was a tragedy what happened. Absolutely, 100%. And it's still going on. Some of them, the nightmare's still there for them.
So here, look, I'm gonna give you a couple of issues, right? So we talked about on this show the no funding of the Ukrainian war, right? And then obviously we already hit the subject of selling weapons to the Ukrainians, specifically Patriot missiles and the launchers that go with it, right? So the reason why I am opposed to helping Ukraine is that that's not our fight. That's Europe's fight. So when it comes to like Germany and France, like I wouldn't even oppose Germany and France giving Ukraine money because like they're fighting for their backyard, right? When it comes to Israel, it's a different, for me personally, it's a different argument. And the reason why is because and a lot of people aren't going to like this, but I've stated this before, like the U.S. interest there with Israel is to keep the region destabilized, right? Because a stable region there that allies with the Russians gives the Russians multiple avenues, and one of those avenues is access to the seas in the south, the oceans in the south, right? And that's something that we cannot allow, right? So I'm for some type of deal where we're sending them equipment and not giving it to them per se, maybe at a discounted rate, because I think it's important. The region's important. There's a reason why that region's important. It's not oil. It's not oil prices. It's also war, power, right?
Military industrial complex, my friend.
Right. It is the military industrial complex, but we do have to have the crux of the United States foreign policy and the foreign policy of all superpowers is their ability to commit massive acts of violence or threaten massive acts of violence in order to benefit, right? So that's why the Iranian bomb thing is no surprise to me. I am also a no new war thing, but that doesn't mean like if you're a complete isolationist is actually a hawk. It's actually a pro-war hawk, because if you completely devoid yourself of being able to manipulate, and I know that there's a negative connotation to that, to be able to manipulate global affairs, you lose that, and what you're doing is you're inviting future wars. So, has it gone too far? Has our support gone too far with Israel? Yes. The answer is yes. Israel, Pakistan, India should not have access and should have never given access to a nuclear arsenal. And another thing, the most non-transparent, there's no transparency in Israel when it comes to their nuclear program. Does our government know? But the public doesn't know what it is. Like, we could tell you how many nuclear warheads the Russians have, how much France has, how much the Chinese have, but can we tell you what's in the arsenal? Can we tell you what India has and Pakistan has? Yes, absolutely. We can't tell you what Israel has because we don't know. We don't know. And those three countries should have never been given a nuclear arsenal. And we should do everything in our power, anything in our power to stop the counter of nuclear powers on a +1. We cannot go +1. So that's where my issues lie with some of these things. But going back to this situation, because we're getting back into that realm, and I know it's magnetizing to get in there because there's so much passion, so much anger in there. But the Epstein thing, this tweet, it's not a hoax. We're not crazy, because this is what we voted for. And there's clarity in it. So it's not like, oh, we didn't know what the Trump's position on Iran is, but we're still pissed at him. We know what his position on Jeffrey Epstein was. We know what JD Vance's position. We know what Pam Bondi's position was, even before the election.
We know what Dan Bongino's position was on it.
Exactly. And who are the two, besides the president, who are the two agencies responsible for investigating this? The FBI and the DOJ.
I read a post today, and I was just trying to find it while you were talking, and for some reason, I have been like bookmarking posts and liking them, so I didn't, and I obviously didn't. And I can't find the post, but the guy who was talking was saying that the excuses is that it would be the fall of our government and everything would burn down if all this came out. And he goes, you know what? I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm here. You know what? If it, do we honestly at the expense of the fall of this country, do we want to allow people in our government to get away with sexually assaulting, trafficking, murdering children? If this is what our republic is, then our republic shouldn't stand anymore. The whole thing should come crumbling down. And most people go, oh, well, you don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want it. No, I do. I do. I did things in my life foreseeing this to insulate myself from when the collapse does happen. I'll be out here hunting fucking deer. I'll eat meat. If you haven't been smart enough to see the writing on the wall over the last 30 fucking years, and you haven't done anything to insulate yourself from a total collapse, sorry, not sorry. I don't care.
Batty, you're muted.
You're muted.
Sorry, my
She's trying to save us from the dog.
You talk about me being a tech-tard. No, I'm kidding, Batty. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
But yeah, I agree with that. And as far as like the whole Iran thing, I mean, maybe Trump was right. I didn't like it. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I didn't like it. It just seemed like every time Israel does something, we have to come to their defense. And I just felt like Israel should have been able to handle that. I guess the biggest problem I had with it is that it didn't feel like it was done at our own leisure. It felt like we had to do it because Israel did it. So that's the problem I had with the whole Iran thing. But I mean, I guess it worked out in the end. So props to Trump for that. But yeah, with this Epstein thing, it's just like, man, like, I don't, like, if I can't make sense of it to myself, how can I defend it to, people that follow me? How can I defend it to, anybody else? So now somebody asks, are you still a Trump supporter? It's like, he basically said he didn't want my support at this point. So yeah, I just feel like it's a Jeffrey Epstein thing. No matter the consequences, I feel like it needs to be exposed because I don't want to live in a government that's controlled by pedophiles or that protects pedophiles. You know what I mean? So that's
Okay. So two things before I ask my last question here. One, Rob, deer meat sucks.
No, it doesn't.
No matter how you cook it, deer meat sucks dick, dude.
Well,
I never had.
You had Florida you have Florida fucking deer meat, motherfucker. You got to have some.
Here, look, Batty, can you please, before you come on, because I love having you on, before you come on the next time, can you eat deer meat so you could come here and tell Rob exactly how shitty deer meat is?
I'll try to find some.
All right, cool. Second,
Venison.
Reno.
That's what it's called, venison.
So it's deer meat, dude. It's
venison.
Stop with the venison thing. That's like it sounds like you're trying to be French.
Dude, venison chili is fucking bomb, dude.
Listen,
you kidding me? Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Turtle meat.
Shut up with you and your fucking chimichangas and your fucking tacos. Be quiet, you.
Actually pretty good.
I would eat a fucking venison chimichanga, that's for sure.
All right, so check this out. Another thing is in the comments, Reno's making fun of me because. So how do you say the N-word? Nuclear, guys. Come on.
Nuclear, not nuclear.
Stop. I already knew what you guys. I saw your faces. How do you say nuclear? Am I saying it right there?
No, you were saying nuclear.
No, no, no.
Nuclear.
Listen,
Nuclear.
if anybody mispronounces the way that nuclear is supposed to sound, it is Reno Hillbilly and Rob Hillbilly. Fucking
Fucking hillbilly. I live in New England, you fucking asshole.
live in the hills. So, okay, wait. So I'm gonna, on a serious note, I'm gonna ask this last question before I come off. Actually, let me open the door for Barry. Give me a second.
Batty, you got time to hang out with me until the end of the show?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I am I'm
about to get off.
Oh, he's about to get off. There's nothing we want to see.
Yeah. Okay. So last question. So let's say he continues with this, and Barry is in the studio right now, but and I'm gonna have to go. So let's say he continues on this path on Epstein did nothing wrong. Let's say he prints out the Epstein did nothing wrong shirts. I'll probably print them for him. But regardless of the fact, let's say he continues to do this.
Grifty fuck.
And then after that, right? Everything he does is exactly what he said that he was going to do. If this is the issue, is this the hill to die? Is this the hill? No, I'm not going to say that because I'm giving you an out there. If everything after this point is the MAGA agenda, right, as we see it, would you support the president? I'll start with Rob.
Well, I never said that I wasn't going to support him. I am extremely pissed off by this. And this honestly feels like a slap in the face to those of us that have gone through so much for him, that have dealt with all of the bullshit that we've dealt with, dude, especially you guys like you and I. You know, a lot of these motherfuckers have never been on the front lines of getting fucking a bottle of piss and fucking a bag of shit thrown at them by Antifa, or coming at us with those fucking knives. Or getting stabbed, or, and me in my case, almost getting fucking my stomach cut open thanks to BLM.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is a slap in the face to all of us that supported him for all of these years. And no, we shouldn't fucking put up with this. He should hear loud and clear. This is as tone deaf as possible. And I'm not chalking it up to it just being, you know, Buck said, and I love you, bro, and I know you're watching, and I'll call you later, man, but I'm not. This is not how the game is played. I'm tired of the games. That's what it is. Yes, it is outrageous what he said, but this is not 5D chess anymore. We voted for complete transparency in our government. This is why we put him in. This is why we voted for him for three times.
Yeah.
Complete and utter transparency. And now you're telling us that although he's even talked about the Jeffrey Epstein list and the people that are on it, and talking about putting them away for it. And now all of a sudden you're trying to literally, and I hate this phrase. This is a leftist feminist fucking trope, but gaslighting. He's gaslighting us into thinking about something that No. This is a hoax now. I talked about it for years, but now it doesn't exist. And if you push on it, then you're not MAGA anymore, and you're not my supporters, and I don't want you anymore. Well,
all right,
fuck you.
Let me get Batty's take on this. I'm going to give you my take quick, and I got to go.
Yeah, so my take, even if he does everything I want him to do after that, it's like, I would say this, like, I would probably stand by the fact that Trump, you are better than Biden and Kamala, but you're no different. You're not in the swamp. You're not more honest. Like, you're just no different. You're just like the rest of these politicians, and that would be my take. So I wouldn't give him the praise that I once did of him being different and him, you know, taking down the deep state. I would just say, like, yeah, you're doing some good. I think from that point on, I would just support the policies. Like, I would support the deportations. I would support whatever. But as far as walking around in a Trump shirt, I think I might be done with that.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you my take quick. I gotta run. My take is, for me personally, I'm disappointed in some of the tweets and some of the truth posts. I'm still a Trump supporter. Is this a breaking issue for me? No, it's not. Do I think it's very important and it's I think part of the main agenda of the president? Absolutely. Um,
So if he went out in the front lawn of the White House and beat a puppy to death with a baseball bat, would that be the line?
that won't be the line. Whatever. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Listen, I'll listen. I've said my views here pretty fucking clearly. Like, when it comes to the president, I
Dude.
support him. But I'll criticize where I see it. But for the most part, this is part of the mega agenda. So this is important, and people should not be like, oh, fuck you. And in the words of Alex Rosen, I am a Trump ball washer, but I am not a Trump fucking ball waxer. Right? Because like you just can't, but again, like I want people to understand that I am on a different level here. My life, I was given 22 fucking years. I wasn't given like 3 or 4 years. I was given 22 fucking years. And his very first thing when he did as president after he swore the oath of the presidency was to give me my personal life back. But don't, and the last words here I'll say, like, don't discredit Trump supporters, whether they're new, as our friend Batty over here, or whether they're old, like Rob over here. Like, these are genuine concerns. Really old. Yeah, as Barry says, very old. Yeah, Rob is very old. So these are genuine and legitimate concerns, and it should concern everybody. So I hope the president turns course on this. So with that, I'll tell you guys, please repost the stream. You catch us here about 4 or 5 times a week during the week. I will be on tomorrow. I'm going to be recording Cal Seraphin's show now in a little while, so I'll catch me on that. And also
You're going to be on his show, or he's going to be on yours?
I'm going to be on his show, and then we'll bring him in. I want to bring the suspendables in, all the suspended FBI agents that still have not gotten reinstated after promises made by Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, and Pam Bondi. So, all right, guys. See you guys tonight. Also, we're going to be storming the Capitol tonight. Not in Minecraft, but in the Division 2. And that is going to start at 8:00 tonight. Reno and Rob will be joining us, and hopefully somebody else. But I think it's just going to be us 3 tonight, and we are going to be playing the Division on the DC map, and Rob's going to take us to the Capitol. Rob, you're leading this.
And we're really going to cause an insurrection at the Capitol because we're going in there with guns and drones and everything else.
Not in Minecraft.
No, not in Minecraft at all. No.
Division 2. Thank you, guys. I'm out.
Thank you.
Patty, thank you for coming, man. It's always a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Later, bro.
You in the driver's seat? I'm gone.
Oh, I'm in the driver's seat now. Yeah, we usually go to about 1:45, so we got about 20-25 minutes. And if you, like I said, you're more than welcome to hang out with us. I'm going to get into a little bit of home news. And so I live in New Hampshire, and we had a bill go in front of that was overwhelmingly voted for, and even by some Democrats, and which would be to not allow men in women's sports, and not allow men in women's bathrooms. So, which is, that's common sense. That's just common sense. How do you feel? First, before I get to this, how do you feel about men taking away from women, pretending to be you, and excelling and exceeding at sports, and taking away?
I think that was one of the main reasons why I left, because it was just like, why are we like like it's just common sense. You cannot have biological men in women's sports, and then the fact that you had like Lisa Thomas that was like 400 place, and then all of a sudden he joins the women's team and it's like first place. So I just felt like that was really disgusting, and the fact that they're still, as far as I'm concerned, they're still voting against that. Like if they ever want to have a chance to win again, like they need to let that go. They need to protect biological women. And even when I used to be like in a lot of feminist spaces, the thing that turned me off was they would put like the comfort of like trans people, they would put that over women. And it's like, then who the hell is supposed to fight for a woman? You know what I'm saying? If you guys could put biological men over them. So that's one of the reasons why I don't really support feminists anymore, because they chose that the comfort of biological men is more important than us. So yeah, I just don't understand why Democrats keep like they're willing to lose everything because they want to support delusions.
This is why that I have such a problem with the LG and the rest of the alphabet bullshit soup there, and why I'm so vile about it when I speak about them, because they have allowed these disgusting reprobates to glam onto their thing. And there's very few. There are some that push back in the gay and lesbian community, but the overwhelming majority of them want this insanity, the gender politics to be stuck onto their movement. So we had a bill in our house in New Hampshire, which was House Bill 148. And basically it just said that, no women in men's sport, no men in women's sports, and no men in women's bathrooms, and vice versa. No women in men's bathrooms, no women in, that want to be men in men's sports, which is that happens so little. Like women very rarely transition from women to men and want to get in and play boxing with me. Then they're not stupid enough. But men really, really want to get in on women's sports because they suck in men's sports and they know that they can dominate. There is a biological and physiological difference between men's bodies, men's muscle mass, and women's. Like, would you want me to say that I'm trans and you get in a ring with me?
Exactly.
That's what it is. And so we voted for it in the House. It passed the House and the Senate and went to our governor's desk. Now, our governor's name is Kelly Ayotte, and I have been actually singing her praises for what's up, G? See, look, I got sleeves on today. Overwhelmingly, all of the Republicans and some Democrats voted for this, and she vetoed it today. And her message was, while I believe the legislature should address this serious issue, it has to be done in a thoughtful and narrow way that protects the privacy, safety, and rights of all New Hampshire citizens. However, with the House Bill 148, I have concerns about the broadness of this bill, the unintended impacts accompanying its implementation, and that it will spur a plethora of litigation against local communities and businesses. This is utter fucking bullshit as far as I'm concerned. I don't care about how it's implemented. I don't care how many of these tranny fucking losers are butthurt by this or get put out, or they're the fact that they have to actually stand at a fucking urinal instead of squatting and getting their dicks in the fucking water. I don't give a shit. I don't care how the bad feelings. Oh, I don't care. I don't care how they feel. I don't give a shit. Listen, I am the last person on this planet that would ever be considered a feminist. Most people consider me a misogynist, actually, but I have daughters, and I don't want dudes anywhere near them in their world, in their biosphere. I don't want dudes being able to go into their bathrooms with them, because these are men. These are not fucking women. You cannot just throw on a dress with a 5 o'clock shadow and expect me to join in on your delusion. Listen. I don't have the same problems that women do when it comes to this. There's very few, again, like I said, females that go to male. What I mean, honestly, what's your take on this? This is a failure as far as my governor is concerned. The fact that she vetoed this bill.
As far as when the governor vetoes the bill, is it the same like when the president vetoes it? Does it go back and get like an overwhelming majority, or is that just it? Like,
well, if we do have a veto-proof majority, but that causes all kinds of issues, and our legislators are vowing to fight this because she also shot down the left is calling it book banning, but it was pornographic books that had drawings of guys blowing other guys, teaching kids how to actually cut their wrists that we wanted out of the schools.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
I mean, she vetoed that one too.
I don't know why this is a hill Democrats want to die on. Like, it's common sense to keep them out of women's sports and the women's bathrooms. You know what I mean? And yeah, I don't know why they keep doing that. Like, that's why I'm just saying it's like both parties are just insane. But it's like Democrats are losing like normal Democrats. You know what I mean? Like, so this is why so many people left the left, because it's like even like the normal people that otherwise wouldn't vote Republican are like, okay, this has gone too far. You know what I mean? I feel like it's hurting gay people too, because I don't have any problem with gay people, you know, but I feel like normal gays, they're now being hurt because of this extreme shit, like this extreme
normal gays
hurting everybody. Yeah, so it's like it's just disgraceful to me that, you know, Democrats haven't learned why they lost so bad. Like, they still have no idea why they lost so bad, and they still keep making the same mistakes with illegal immigrants, with transgenders, and then they're like spending money to figure out how they can get men back and how they can do better, but they're doing shit like this. So I just don't know what's wrong with them. It's like they just want the Democratic Party to die. Yeah.
And crazy enough that our governor is a Republican governor. She should have never vetoed this.
Wait, a Republican governor?
Yes, she's a Republican governor.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what the hell that was about.
Yep. Republican governor. She got pressured by the alphabet squad there. She got pressured by, you know, sorry guys, Christianity and homosexuality are not compatible. Just like Islam and Western civilization, not compatible. It's called docking. Just doesn't work. It's not what it was meant to be. And yeah, so our Republican governor sold us out when it came to protecting our children.
That's really weird, because I feel like that's something that's not something that's like extreme or anything. I feel like that's like a normal position to take, but that's so weird. I don't know. That's so weird.
Yeah, we got a lot of fighting to do ahead of us, because I've been bragging for like 2 months about this. I go, oh guys, you know, you guys need to like look at New Hampshire as a blueprint for what every other fucking state should do with all the bills that are getting passed. Our representatives are great here. We've passed some really, you know, unbelievable bills that haven't been passed in any other state in the country. And now we got a governor who's bowing down to the hit squad, worrying about, you know, the trannies. Fuck them. I don't give a shit about them. I don't care about their feelings. Their feelings are of no concern of mine.
Yeah. Republican did that. I'm like, what?
Yeah. My whole life is protecting children. That's all I really have ever done. And this bill, and you know what's going to happen, and this is what has to happen, people. This is to everybody. This is to everybody out there that has children that are of school age, primary school age. You have to get involved in your local politics. You have to get involved in your schools. You have to get in on the PTAs. You have to, you know, go to all of these school meetings. You have to go to all of the, you have to stand up for your kids. You have to walk into these schools and say, I am this child's parent. I want this pornography out of my kids' school now. Because without an overwhelming voice, you're never going to affect change. You have to get in their faces. I am telling you to get in their faces. Walk into the schools where your kids go and demand a meeting with the principals. Demand a meeting with the superintendents and tell them we're not going to take this shit anymore. Because until you do that, until we do that en masse, until we do that with an overwhelming majority of people and a huge fucking voice, they will continue to push this trans global homo agenda on our impressionable children in school. And it is our responsibility to stop this, especially if our elected officials won't.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely don't think there's any reason it should be in schools like that. I don't think that's necessary.
Today's been an exciting day as far as politics go. I tried to actually stay out of politics today. My post was a cute picture of my son and I. I was like, I'm not posting fucking anything about politics because I knew I was doing this show with you, and then I got my show later on tonight at 5:00, and I don't want to get fucking burnt out, but I'm fucking burnt out.
Do you prefer pancakes or waffles?
I don't eat either. I've been carnivore for 2 years now. Yeah. I started carnivore April of 23. At 35, I was diesel and I had the washboard stomach the whole 9 yards. And then I quit smoking and I went poof. And one day I just looked at myself and I was like, wow, you're a fat piece of shit. Like I fat shamed the fuck out of myself because I hated looking like that. And my buddy told me about carnivore and I was like, all right, let me investigate. So I did actually a couple of weeks. I went down the rabbit hole and I started and I lost 70 pounds, no more CPAP machine, no more fucking high blood pressure medication, no more narcolepsy. And my testosterone was, the last I checked was like 980, which is huge.
Narcolepsy.
Huh?
I have narcolepsy.
You can fall asleep anywhere you want.
Well, that's cataplexy, but I have narcolepsy without cataplexy, so I don't fall asleep randomly, but I'm like sleepy I can take like 5 naps all like throughout the day. It's bad. But yeah, I mean, I would love a protein diet, but I feel like eating so much meat would be expensive.
Well, if you cut out all of the other garbage that you buy, I'm not saying you, but you as a generalized statement, if you cut out all the other garbage, it's pretty much the same. If you're just eating clean and you're buying steak and chicken, and if you like fish and pork or whatever meat or dairy product that you like, and you follow the carnivore diet, I think maybe it cost me $50 extra a week, like to do it, but I probably eat more in one day than you do in a week. So, but I also fast too. So I do 1 72-hour fast a month, so 3 days no eating, just drinking water. I do at least I try to do 3, but I do at least 2 48-hour fasts, and then I'm usually doing like 24 hours for like four days a week. So the fasting with the diet, not diet, it's the lifestyle change. The hardest thing was to get off of sugar. That was hard. That was really hard. Jason says, I can't give up my veggies. Yeah, but they're actually really not good for you. I mean, we have canines for a reason. We are not omnivore. We are carnivores. The human beings were bred to be carnivores. Our bodies only need 3 things to survive: fat, salt, and water. And that's it. Salt helps break down the fat and turns into the protein, and you need water. That's it. That's all you need. And I mean, I'm living proof. Like I listen, I don't get paid for, pushing it, but it's amazing what it did to me, my mind, my clarity, my testosterone, which is huge for men, because as men get into their 40s, when their testosterone starts dropping, you can see like all of the issues that men have, all of the health issues men have, is because their testosterone drops. It is intrinsic to the male body to have testosterone, and that's why you see so many dudes in their 40s getting the fucking pot bellies, and they're lethargic all the time, and they come home from work and they pass out in their chair, and they don't have the energy to hang with their kids and whatnot. And this is just been life-changing for me. I'm in better shape now than I was in my fucking 20s.
That's good.
But you definitely don't look like you need to just go on a protein diet, my dear.
Well, I need to eat more. That's the thing. Like I don't eat enough. I'm underweight, so I definitely.
I mean, the carnivore will help you build muscle, and it will put good weight on. It won't put shitty weight on. When you eat sugars and processed foods, it puts on shitty weight. And then you look good, but you feel like shit. Like back in the day, I looked good, but I felt like shit on the inside. And now
like always tired. It's like no energy. Yeah.
I look up Dr. Ken Berry.
Dr. Ken Berry.
Yep. He is he's the world's foremost authority on the carnivore diet. There are people that have had grand mal seizures and epilepsy their entire life, and the carnivore diet has helped them with that. Same thing with people with cancer, and like I was on 100 milligrams of losartan, which is a fairly powerful high blood pressure medication, and within 4 months of doing this, I had no more. I had all the old fat guy problems. I had the CPAP machine. I couldn't fucking sleep at night, and my blood pressure was through the fucking roof. I'm sure my blood was like as thick as fucking syrup because of the shit that I'm eating. And all of that's gone. Now I sleep 5 hours a night and I'm fucking bouncing off of walls, healthy and happier than shit. Got energy like fucking crazy. I walk by women and I get them pregnant now. My testosterone's so fucking high. It's kind of true, actually. I just shoot them a look and boom.
I'm like a really picky eater, but like I always love meat. I love steak. I love anything meat. It's like the rice and stuff like that I'm real picky about. But if it's meat, like I'll eat it.
Yeah, see that, and you really want to be choosy about the meat that you do eat. You obviously want to make sure that it's not processed. You got to make sure that it doesn't have the hormones and the steroids in it, because that just goes against the whole point of it. Try to buy from like a local butcher. And again, like I said, if you have like, a bunch of shitty fucking, breakfast cereals, and they're fucking expensive, but you throw that away and you buy, bacon, and you buy eggs and butter, and you just eat the bacon and the eggs, and you don't eat the bread or the toast with it. That's carnivore in and of itself. I make I call them carnivore waffles. So I take a scrambled egg and I put shredded cheese in it, and then I put it in a waffle iron. And it's awesome. Michelle just rolled her own eyes. But she knows it's true. She knows it's true, Shell. If you definitely try to buy from a local rancher, and make sure that like if they use any processing or hormones or anything in it. And I would stick with, me personally, I stick with ribeye and filet mignon. But I also do I eat probably 30 eggs a week. And then, yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the thing. Like whenever I eat eggs, I don't like get filled up. I only eat like 2 of them.
You get filled up by eating 2 of them?
Yeah, like
Yeah, that's all you really need to do. Is you only really truly need to eat to your capacity. Your body will naturally see. A lot of people are also fat because they don't listen to that thing inside of them where they're like, oh yeah, you had enough. If there's still food on the plate, people are like, yeah man, I got to clean this plate. You're better off taking it, putting in a fucking Tupperware and putting it in the fridge. Eat till your body tells you that you've had enough. Listen to that, and then put away whatever's left. But most people don't do that either. So, all I know is that this worked for me. Dr. Ken Berry and the carnivore diet changed my life over the last 2 years. And it's a really healthy, clean way to live.
another question: where do you get deer meat?
Well, I hunt. So
You said what?
I hunt.
Oh wow! So you go out and actually get them?
Yeah, I live on 18 acres on a mountain. I can sit on my deck and shoot them.
Oh wow!
Yes, but no, there are some places that actually sell venison. I actually think Whole Foods has venison. Depending on the type of you can actually look up venison, and I'm sure that there's places that you can sell. I'm sure that there's also butchers. If you want, you can call like a local butcher down there and be like, hey, I'm looking for some venison. And if they have it, they will, because a lot of guys will, a lot of hunters, they will bring, if you can't process it yourself in the field, a lot of guys will hunt, put it in their truck, bring it to a butcher, and the butcher usually takes a portion of the deer meat for themselves so that they can sell for processing the deer. So you might want to, I don't know what the hunting laws are like down in Florida, but I know here that if you hunt on your own property, you can hunt all year round.
Oh, because you can buy it. Hunting students.
Yes, you can buy it at Sprouts in St. Pete. He says.
Okay, I gotta check that out because I never had deer meat before.
It's awesome. If you cook it right, it's awesome. If it's killed properly and processed properly, it's great. If you fucking do it the wrong way, if you kill it the wrong way, if you process it the wrong way, it's very gamey and tough. But you get venison medallions. It's awesome. I used to cook it in a stew, but we make steaks out of them, and they're fucking great. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking. Enrique doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah, see, this is. So yeah, I think it's awesome. I love it. I love bison. I've had alligator. To me, alligator just tastes like fishy chicken. Like it was all right. It didn't suck. Oh yeah, absolutely, Ray. I've had squirrel. Squirrels.
Girl,
If
oh
you
my
gotta,
god, what did that taste like?
Not great. Not great. It didn't suck, but it's not like I would. Rabbit tastes better than squirrel. Rabbit tastes way better than squirrel. And surprisingly, I had rattlesnake, and I love rattlesnake. It tastes great. Buffalo, bison, the whole nine. Buffalo is awesome. Buffalo meat is fucking phenomenal. Fucking Reno says manatee is so tender. No, Reno, I'm not eating fucking manatee, motherfucker. Yeah, see, elk is great. Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, Ray. Elk is fucking, and it's really healthy for you.
Yeah, there's stuff I haven't tried. People thought I was lying because I made a video trying mashed potatoes and gravy for the first time, and everybody was like, "Yeah." People were like, "You're lying." I'm like, "No, I'm not."
You've never had mashed potatoes and gravy?
Mm-mm. And then I went to KFC, and I meant to get like macaroni, those sides I wanted, and they gave me mashed potatoes anyway. So I was like, I guess I'll try it.
You've never had KFC?
I had KFC. I just never had
Oh, their Their mashed potatoes and gravy.
Yeah, like at all. Even when my mom cooked it, I don't know. Like I don't know how I decide I'm not gonna eat something because I never had it. I just know I'm not gonna like it. The texture was just weird to me. It's like applesauce, but then it's like food. It
You see what fuck wrote?
was weird.
Rob's main dish is ass. Thanks, Buck. Thanks. All right, I think we're going to call it for now. It's almost time. Patriotic Baddie, thank you for coming in today. Yeah, Travis, I'm glad we're keeping you guys laughing because we want to present the news on the show, but we also want to put a little bit of levity to it. I don't even know what GJC is, Reno. But yeah, we want to we want to give a little bit of levity and have a little bit of fun, because if you're just constantly fucking pissed about politics all day long, it's just going to drive you crazy. Batty, you want to say something to everybody before we go?
Oh yeah, thank you guys for having me again. I really appreciate you guys, and still trying to figure out everything. I did my friend.
Uh-oh, she froze. Is it me or she frozen?
YouTube video for me explaining everything, and like a high quality camera that he has. So I'm going to be posting that soon.
Batty, you are frozen right now, and you're frozen on Instagram. Is there storms going on? Yeah, no. There we go.
Okay, I turned my data on, but yeah, I don't know what happened.
Okay, you might want to go through that whole thing. We didn't hear anything.
For having me, posting a video, like my friend filmed in like a high quality camera, so I will be posting a YouTube video. I might upload it on X too, just explaining everything, and then after that, I'm gonna take some time, figure out where I want to go from here. But yeah, man, I'm just always gonna speak the truth. I may not agree with everything. You guys may not agree with me, but I'm always gonna be honest. I'm always gonna stay true to myself. So, thank you guys so much for having me. It was a really good show, and yeah, just thank you guys again.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us today on the Lords of War Daily News Brief. I want to thank our guest, Patriotic Baddie. Ray, hit me up on X at the Rob 1772. It's on the screen. Shoot me a follow, and then I'll follow you back, and you can get me. You can message me then. Yeah, stay true to you, and we aren't supposed to agree on everything. Goddamn right, Travis. Thank you guys very much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Check out 1776.shop. It does help pay the bills for the studio. Again, I don't get anything from it, but I have a vested interest in making sure the studio that I do a show on stays operating. And it's not like we're asking you for free money. We're offering you a really good products, a really good price, patriotic gear, patriotic hats, t-shirts, the whole nine yards. 1776.shop. It definitely helps us out here in the studio, and maybe one day I will have my own sponsor that I'll be talking about that can actually pay me to do this. All right, guys, you have a great day. Tonight at 5:00 is my show, Critical Mass with Patriot Rob. We will be doing an X space along with the live broadcast. Please tune into that. Go to my page at the Rob 1772. Hit the notifications button, and you will be notified when we go live in the space. And with that, you guys have a great afternoon.
Bye.
guns and bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend she's overboard and self-assured. Oh no, I know a dirty word. Hello.
Prosecutors said Ethan Nordine was the undisputed leader of the group that day as they tried to prevent the peaceful transfer of power.
And FBI agents arrested Proud Boys former national chairman Enrique Tarrio at this home in Miami. By 2 this afternoon, he was in federal court.
Here we are